Well, now here we are. Yeah, alright. Just got you on here. Alright, let's try to get at this time. I've tried to record this this voiceover clip several times. I had it all recorded and stuff, and then Premiere Pro decided to crash on me, and even though I had saved the project, I couldn't get it back. I don't know. Despite having it for like almost 2 years at this point, I am still really bad with Premiere Pro. I haven't put in the effort to learn it that much. I only recently learned keyframing. But yeah, anyway, so here we are, episode 2. I apologize right off the bat if my voice sounds weird, because I am sick, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, episode 2, here we are. It's been recorded for, well, a month and a half at the least. I don't know. I'm lazy sometimes. I don't have an excuse. I should fix that. But yeah, this episode's kind of all over the place. Like, here what I'm doing, well, I decided to start kind of working on the downtown, get the Skyline going, just so we have that there. So there's stuff we can go back and do there, and we're not waiting forever. Obviously, it's all subject to change, but I felt like I wanted to do this. I was on a kind of definite creative high at the time, where I was really just enthusiastic to play it, and I haven't been into the save since recording this, which, if I upload this tonight, I'll probably go back into the save tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully Premiere Pro doesn't, just completely die on me again. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get in there and work on some stuff, and that'll be fun. I still actually, before I do that, I should figure out what I want to do for the next episode. I got to do some prep for that yet, because I didn't really do a whole lot of thinking. But yeah, so the first episode, it was alright. The quality was being weird, so like I had to completely re-render it, and it was just like, well, why does it hate me? And then I figured out what I did wrong, but I almost was gonna forget to do that until I just mentioned it just now, actually, probably. So that's probably a good thing that I brought it up. Place your bets on if someone barges in while I'm trying to record. That happened last time. It kind of always does. And I don't have the audio from when I recorded, like, the gameplay here, because I delete that, and I'm going to put music over it. But basically, about 70% of the time while recording this episode, I was in a Discord call with Prez. That was a bit of a time doing that. We had a time. Yeah, the mic is probably picking it up that I'm a little sick. Yeah, I don't know. I get this weird, like, sickness that it seems like it's the same thing, and it comes back like every few months, like every 4 or 5 months, and I don't know. I did get it checked out, and like a year ago when I had it around the same time, and they were like, "Oh, it's nothing. We don't know. We can't really do anything about it." And it's like, well, that's just a disappointing answer, because like it sucks. It really just. I don't like dealing with it, but they're like, well, sorry, don't know what it is. And like, obviously, I get there's nothing they can really do about it if they don't know what it is, and it's like not super bad. It's just an annoyance, and it's like, I'm sick of it. Pun not intended. Well, okay, maybe it was slightly intended, but can't get mad at me for it. Yeah, I was trying to triangle there. What was going on? That could have been interesting. Could have put a park there. I don't know. There'll be plenty of time for interesting road designs later in the suburbs. But yeah, this episode we also go and we work more on that first neighborhood that we did in the first episode there. Add some more houses to that, and really I should add some more, like I should go and make some more custom houses when I get the chance, because I haven't done that for some time, and excuse me. Because I haven't done that since before we even started the series, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get by on that little set of houses forever. It's just not, it's not gonna happen. Also, with episode 1, we didn't I obviously didn't expect it to get a lot of views, but like we barely got any. It's like, well, I kind of brought that one on myself. I almost feel like, because I was away for so long. I don't know. I don't have the best track record for these things, but It's whatever. I just gotta keep making it, and it's not about the views. It's about like me enjoying it, and that's also partially the reason I didn't make an episode of this for so long, because I just didn't have the creative enjoyment flowing through me. But yeah, it's like I think that tends to happen to me a lot is I'll be browsing through YouTube and I'll see a new City Skylines video by like Prez or someone, and like that'll get me. It's like, oh yeah, I should probably go back and work on this. And then I try to do that about half the time, and last time I did that was like a week ago. And like I said, yeah, editing software just crashed when I went and tried to render it because it just wouldn't bring up the thing, and it's just, I don't know, it's a real hit or miss. Unfortunately, it doesn't never miss. It sometimes misses. That was a terrible joke. But yeah, what I'm doing on screen here, this is like a little kind of easier turn lane. Because in the real life Madison, they have something similar, where they don't really have much of an intersection there. It just actually kind of curves into that road that's on that side of the isthmus from the little bridge I made. But I wanted to have a road that went through, so I decided to do that. And I'm like, hey, I'll make this nice little turn lane, can decorate that just a little bit, and I did. It didn't take me too long, but I feel like is a worthwhile addition. Now, one of the things that happened while I was trying to make this episode is I had a time placing the skyscrapers because I don't want them to be too dense, but in the end I end up feeling like almost they're a little bit too sparse. Like, I don't know, it's a bit weird. I didn't really plan it that great. And another thing is, I think I mentioned in the last episode that Madison is the capital of Wisconsin. Now, I kind of feel like I want to do a capital in downtown of this city, like right in that big square. That's why I made it there. But I don't know where I could find a good asset for that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to do just like the U.S. capital, because that would be like, well, no. I just really don't want to. Even though it does look quite similar, I don't want to go that route. But honestly, I feel like I might go in and rearrange some skyscrapers at some point to make it a bit more dense or believable or something. I don't know. I'll probably do something to it. I don't know yet. Like, for now, it's fine, but you'll see what I mean. It's just something about it just feels a little bit off, but I'm just getting this episode out. I'm trying to figure out how to, fill the time here, because I don't want to just cut to the music and, oh, gotta yawn. My apologies. I am sick. I don't want to just like cut and let the music take care of it, because it's not the way to do things. I gotta make an effort here. Yeah, like you can see here, I'm trying to just fill out around the square, and that's like not amazing. You know what? Yeah, I'm probably gonna go in and like redo that. Maybe that's what I'll do for episode 3. Is I'll go in and rework the skyline because I just don't like it, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, real life Madison doesn't have buildings this tall. They have a height restriction. You can't go above the height of the Capitol Dome. So most of the buildings downtown will not be this tall. They'll be maybe half as much at most. Which is nice though, because it does provide a nice like level of continuity in the skyline, and it's a really good looking skyline. I'm not gonna go and be all fancy and put up a image on the screen like I did last episode. If you want to look it up, feel free to do that. Or even better, to take a visit there. I do all the time. It's wonderful. Gosh, I'm sick. I'm not enjoying that. But yeah, so I don't know. There might be like a few pauses in this episode where like it just, I don't know. I might just sit back and look at the skyline for a minute. I'm not gonna go and cut that out right now. Yeah, it might actually be happening right now. I don't know. Yeah, kinda, alright. Yeah, just a little intermission, just, I don't know. Look at it. Yeah, we got a skyline there that's going on, it's doing its thing. I'm just trying to wait until that thing ends. I'm not gonna cut out like all that time because I don't want to make that effort. It's just, I don't know, it's not really worth it. Like, I cut down on the videos like size significantly because I sped it up by another 50%. So instead of being about 50 minutes, now it's about 37. I don't know if that math checks out, but just go with it. Just, you know, just to make it quicker, a little bit easier to render, a little bit easier to watch. And yeah, so I think around now, no, we still have half in this one clip because this is the longest clip in the episode by far, is where I'm working on the downtown. And actually, it's almost funny because I vaguely remember saying in the last episode that I wasn't gonna do downtown right away, and here I am, literally one episode later, and I'm making the skyline. Like, what the heck? And yeah, here you can watch me struggle with parking lot roads again. If you watched Algawa, you will know I struggle with parking lot roads to fit them into downtown city blocks. Like, I struggle. It's really awkward. It's really weird. I just don't know how to handle it. Probably could have done some parking garages or some better method of doing this. Sorry about my dog. Oh dear, why must everything interrupt me? But yeah, another reason that it took me so long to actually get this out is I had to do some studying for the ACT. I had to take that this past week. I actually feel like I did really good on it, so that should be good. Hopefully I can get a good enough score to where I can get into a decent or pretty good college. I want to go for civil engineering, which is funny because I'm placing a lot of roads here. And they're not well-placed roads. I'm pretty bad at this game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty bad at this whole YouTube thing. I'm just doing what I can, having the time while doing it. I'm making some friends along the way. Yeah. Alright, so maybe that's about where I'll leave it for the rest of this clip, and I'll let the music take over, and I'll be back to chat with you guys in a few minutes or so. Alright? Yeah, so take care of yourselves. See you in a few.
Wander around your memories, because you might get lost. not be the truth. What is truth? It's what you want it to be.
And so now here we are, and yeah, finally made it to the next clip. Congrats if you've stayed this long. And I'm just going to do some expanding on the suburb that we built in the last episode. I believe I called this Roosevelt, or did I call it Jefferson? I forgot again. I'm 90% sure I called it Roosevelt. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I do diversify the grid a little bit here. I add a little bit of a curve, and I leave the power lines where they are. Like, I don't get rid of them because I want to use them to be kind of like a little divider in the neighborhood. Not in the sense that it splits one neighborhood from another, but that you can, like, just be able to look down it and see how far you go in or out of the city. And there's going to be, like, a lot of shrubbery underneath the power lines. That's something that I want to do with that. And it should be fun. The inspiration for that came to me when I was in that Discord call with Prez. He showed me a bit of New Windsor early. I don't know if I should have said that, but he lets me see. So I knew about the whole helicopter tour thing before, like, long before he released that one. So it's a weird flex, but okay. Don't come to me asking though, because I don't talk to him much. Because I don't do this much, so just don't. But yeah, he was showing me New Windsor, and he showed me, I think it was part of like a rural community. He had power lines running on a hill, and what he did is he went underneath it. I don't know if he did this intentionally. Maybe there was just, like, maybe he didn't mean for it to be this, and he just kind of did it subconsciously while filling in. But he put a lot of, like, grass and shrubbery in underneath those power lines. And that looked pretty good to me. And it reminded me, because we have, you know, if you probably have something similar next to you, but I'm just going to use the example of where I live. I'm able to go less than a mile outside of the city, and I'll run into a thing where, you know, you're in the forest by that point, and the power lines will just cut through, and you'll be able to see down it, and it's wide. There's a lot of grass and stuff, and sometimes you can even see deer, which is pretty cool. You know, I live where there's a lot of deer, so you know, it's not as cool for me, but it's still pretty cool. We just get deer, like, in the middle of the city here. If that doesn't tell you how rural of a place I live in, I don't know what will, because yeah, we have deer that just appear, like, in the middle of everything. And it's weird. Now, one of the other things that I do here is, you can notice I'm, okay, Discord notification, how are you doing? you can notice I'm not connecting all the roads to the previous ones we built, and that's because I want, there to be a little bit of separation, because I don't want to destroy those houses that I made in the last episode, and this also is another thing that helps diversify the grid. You have some room for, like, little cul-de-sac communities, even though I'm not, here I am making cul-de-sacs, but I don't do it everywhere. It's funny that I say, not cul-de-sacs, but I make one, like, right here. The press taught me how to do that with the, little big road there. That's an interesting tactic. I'll have to use that more. And my method, I just said the word 3 or 4 times there. Hello, stuttering. My method for building a neighborhood, here's what I did, is I'm going to turn that on Do Not Disturb, for the love of God. That's not my method, but that is a method I'm going to utilize to make it so that Discord doesn't annoy me while I'm trying to record a voiceover. It, only happens, or I only notice it anyway, when I'm doing this, which is, I just forget to put myself on Do Not Disturb a lot. I usually have myself on mine. Anyways, enough of that tangent. My method is I take these houses, I'll put them down, and what I'll try to do is make sure that none of the houses that touch each other are the same house. I want there to be that diversity. And obviously you can see the same house if you go just a little bit further down the street, but in the grand scheme of things, you won't notice. And in that case, I could probably even get away with 1 or 2 houses that are the same right next to each other. But I don't want to do that, because that's just the lazy way of doing things. I do it once or twice, but that's only when I find it absolutely necessary. And once I've placed all of the houses that I need, and I filled it up about as much as I can, I'll go back, and I'll take my, trees, and I'll just fill it right up. I'll just make it nice and, what would be a good, adjective for that? Green? I don't know. I could use green. I'll make it nice and green, so it looks pretty. And yeah, here is actually where I stopped for a night, because I was working on that in the middle of the night, and then Press ended the Discord call, and I kept working for a couple minutes, and when kept detailing, he didn't exactly want me to do that, because I had to go to sleep. That was just before finals, but I did, and I decided to stop at the power line, which was obviously smart of me. And yeah, alright, looks like we're out in the next clip, and I wonder if I'll be able to talk for the rest of this. Probably not. That's another 14 minutes. There's no way. But we've got this La Quinta here. I believe that's what it is. It's a La Quinta. And we've got a Piggly Wiggly as well. And I just decided to make a little frontage road and put these next to them. Because I want to add some more to that, main road that we have going on, so that the entrance to the city isn't so barren right away, on the one side. And obviously it'll be much less barren later along the line, because behind these is close to where we're going to have the mall. So that'll be an interesting and fun time for the mall. I'm excited for that project. That'll be probably a multi-episode deal. The way that's gonna work is I'm probably gonna spend just one episode alone, just making the road network for the thing. Then I'm gonna spend another episode actually designing the mall, and then for a third episode I'll go through and detail it. I will make the mall detailed. Not a whole lot of things I'm gonna make detailed, but the mall and also this thing I'm building right here are gonna be some of the things that are. While I'm on that, let me just quickly talk about, what I'm doing here. I'm taking this Piggly Wiggly and I'm adding a little backlot to it, because backlots are one of the, original ways that people will go super detailed with, detailing, at least the way I see it. I don't know, there's probably earlier ways, but it's one of the common ways that people would do it in the earlier days. So I'm you know what, for the heck of it, I'll do it, because I never really got the chance to do much, because, the reason it took me so long to start series and I just had to sit by is because I didn't have that, this good computer. Honestly, my computer is still not great, but it works, and if I keep myself in moderation, keep myself in check here so I don't go and download every asset on the workshop, then we're able to get something going pretty alright. And you know what? That works for me. I'm just here to have fun. I want to make something that people enjoy, and, I hope some people enjoy this. It'll be really nice to finally get this episode out. And oh yeah, you can tell here, these trucks, no way are they able to get out. you just gotta go with it, though, you know? You just gotta imagine. Use your brain if you have one. Not everyone does. The trees in front of the heat here mismatch, and it probably shouldn't, because it would make more sense if there was like less variation in them, because they probably put them all there when they put the La Quinta there, and so they would have probably made it uniform or semi-uniform. And in the back there, I didn't really do a backlot for the La Quinta because it doesn't really need one, but I am going to put a dumpster there in just a minute, and this is a little bit of a story. So, earlier in the... Well, it's not early in the year anymore, because now it's 2019 now. So last year, 2018, July, end of June, early July, I was on a trip with my church to the ELCA Youth Gathering in Houston. And, you know, it was a fun event. I got tons of stories about that, and I'm not going to go into that here. But on the way back, we stopped in Jefferson City, Missouri, which is the capital of Missouri, I believe. And where is it that this happened? Oh yeah, this was the hotel that we stayed at. Now, one thing about the hotel that is not what this story is about, but one thing about it is that when we got there, the hill was, for whatever reason, really steep coming off of the frontage road. Our bus couldn't make it up the driveway. So the back wheels of the bus were suspended above the ground while the tail end caught the ground and the front was doing all right. That was certainly an interesting moment during the trip. We had more bus troubles, but that was earlier. And again, I could just make a whole video talking about that trip. And honestly, I probably could, or probably should. I don't know. I'll do something with that, because that was like the time of my life, I'll tell you that. But the other thing about this, yeah, we got that situation solved, by the way. But the other thing about this hotel is, as we were, well, hang on, I got another story. Very quick. One of the kids, he put popcorn in the microwave, but it wasn't the microwave where you have, like, the buttons, like, that you can press for popcorn. No, you had to turn the dial, and he didn't know how much to put it for. So he put the microwave popcorn in, like, 5 minutes or something. He filled up the entire second floor with smoke. It was not a bright kid who did this, clearly. His name was Jack. Still laugh at him every time you see him. It was fun. Oh yeah, those the gas stations there, I think I get rid of them. I don't know why I tried to put them there. I wanted to, and then I'm like, you know what, no, yeah, there we go. They're gone now. But anyways, the main point of this hotel story is, as we were going to bed, I looked out the back window, and there is a dumpster. That's not the story here. It's what was going on around the dumpster. So I see a cat, right? And she's just this stray cat, and he's around this dumpster, looking for food or whatever, just like, scrounging around for food. And then, with him, there is a possum. A very fat possum, mind you. They are not fighting at all. They are working together. The possum and the cat were working together to find food in the back of this little 2-story hotel in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. In the middle of the night, and that was just, like, beautiful. I just watched the whole thing happen. It was hilarious. They would just, like, go around together and just, like, stop and, like, almost seem to talk for minutes. It was hilarious, but that was... oh, that was the time. But alright, yeah, so I'm finished detailing that here, and I think now, yeah, I'm going to go back in and finish adding more to this suburb, because it's obviously a few days later now. This is recorded from the course of the 6th of January to the 9th of January. I remember the days exactly. So this is over the course of a few days. I didn't record on the 8th, though, just the 1st, 7th, and 9th. That's not relevant, but yeah, the point is it's a few days later, so I went back and worked on this. And, oh man, I was just gonna say something, but, like, I lost my train of thought. I've got, like, issues with that, man, I swear. Oh yeah, in just a minute, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of detailing to the interchange, and it's not detailing where I'll place a bunch of props, it's just detailing where I add trees around it, and a lot of trees. just because I want to do it like that. And, I'll probably have another interchange somewhere in a more industrial area. And what I'll do with that one is I'll not, put a bunch of trees around it. I'll, maybe make it more concrete. I don't know. I'll figure something out with that. But this one, I want it to be just trees because it's out there. It's in the suburbs. And I want it to seem nicer. Well, that nice for an interchange is very subjective, but I think you get the point. And also, I didn't talk about that high school I placed down at all, did I? Well, yeah, so I placed down a little high school, and, not a little high school, it's a big high school. And I didn't really need to, I could have just placed down a tiny one, but I wanted to, not only did they need that service, I just felt like, this will fit in this area, and I give it a really big parking lot. I don't know how many high schools have parking lots big like that. Mine certainly does, because the high school I go to, it's the only one in the area. So we have over 1,000 students for this one high school, right? And we're all high school students, so a lot of us can drive, and you can imagine the size of that parking lot is ridiculous for a school. And oh yeah, forgot how satisfying that house right there is. That tree is right next to the train track. That is highly, highly satisfying to me for, some odd reason. It just is. It's, I don't know if it's an odd reason. It just is. Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty big parking lot. And I didn't, include tennis courts or anything, but I did give them a fairly, not, super detailed, but, a fairly decent sized track and field with, football, stands and stuff, because, that's the most essential part, I feel like. So you've got the big lots back there, which would be for general students. Then there's a smaller lot, kind of close to the one side of the school there. I don't know if you can see it. It's not really in shot right now. It's in the corner almost. And that would be for teachers or, parents dropping off their students. That's how it works where I go. And I was just you know what, it seems like a good system, so I'm just going to go with it. And yeah, I'm not going to fill out the whole thing with cars. That's not a thing I'm going to do a lot, except for the mall, is fill out the parking lot with cars. Just because I don't really, it's a lot of unnecessary props, and not every parking lot in the world has a lot of cars. Now, that's the thing that happens to a lot of parking lots, is they'll have be far underutilized 90% of the time, and that's just I'm not gonna be do not eat with my politics here though, even though I agree with him. I'm not gonna go into my political views. I'm just gonna say I like his politics. Anyways, yeah, that's the thing that happens is that they're a lot underused because just urban development shit, capitalism. We need to have all this parking space, take up all this land. I could go on a rant about this and explain why I mentioned doing it, but I'm not going to. But I have a little example of this, and so a city kind of near me. I'm not going to tell you the city because what's kind of near me, and I'm not going to tell you where I live. They have an interstate, right, that has 6 lanes, and they recently upgraded it from having 3 lanes. Now, that would be, you'd be like, oh, well, why is that a problem? The problem is because the 6 lanes are only ever used when there's a home NFL game. That's only 8 times a year. Not counting preseason or postseason, but that's only 8 times a year do you ever use those extra lanes just to alleviate traffic, and it's still a jam. And you invested all that money for 8 days. To me, that seems like a bit of a waste. I would rather just deal with people being oh man, it's a traffic jam, it sucks, than wasting a lot of money on something you really don't need. That's just my opinion, but I guess they thought otherwise, and it's done now, and I don't know, it's weird. And also they added a lot of roundabouts, which yeah, roundabouts are good, they work, but you don't need to put one at every on and off ramp and another one right after it. It's a little excessive, wouldn't you think? Anyways, it does look like I managed to talk for this long, and I'm going to be leaving you guys here in just a minute. So if you did enjoy this episode, give it a like, give me a comment. I really like hearing feedback. Spread it around. I want to get some exposure on this, so maybe more people see it. Gets me more excited to do more. I want to see if by episode 10 of this series, if we get there, if I can hit 100 subscribers. That would be just amazing. I'm not saying subscribe to me. I'm saying I want to see if I can get that far. And I've been thinking too, maybe I should make some non-cities content, just one-offs. I could do an SCP series too. I think I might do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go and record one right after this. That's what I'll do. Anyways, yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, I just told you all that stuff, and I hope you did enjoy. I'm just gonna sit back, and you can enjoy the cinematics as they come to you. And peace out. See you in the next one. Join